The following program contains content that is not suitable for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
Live from the Community Media Center of Marin, it's marINSANITY.
Thank you so much for coming, everybody. I'm Jill Gaspard. I am the producer of marINSANITY, and this is our 50th episode.
Woo! Yeah!
It is so great to see everyone from the waist up. And I sincerely mean that.
Yeah.
I do not want to know what is going on down here. I'm not going to name any names. You know who you are. Think back to 2019 BC, before COVID. Who could have predicted that communicating in groups would turn us all into the Brady Bunch? Tonight, in our audience, I see Greg, and Bobby, and Peter, and Cindy, and Jan, and Marsha. All right, everybody, look up, look down. Come on, just for fun. We can all use a little fun, believe me. Remember those early days of COVID when everybody was over the top, freaked out? I swear to God, if you put something on the surface that I just disinfected for the umpteenth time that day, forget COVID, I'll kill you. Trying to find toilet paper was like the search for the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
When I finally scored some online, I felt like I'd won the lottery. 7 weeks later, I get this weird bunch of little strange rolls in the mail from China. Not Wuhan, thank God. That would have driven me batty. You know, this is a little weird to admit, but COVID really hasn't affected my lifestyle very much. I've always been a clean freak. I've always lived like a hermit. And as far as toilet paper consumption is concerned, I'm a Democrat, okay? I care about the environment. So I limit myself to 3 a week. Not rolls, squares. What? They're double layered. You think that's gross? I'll show you what's gross. This. I thought that the 95 meant that's how many days you could wear it before throwing it away. I'm so gullible, really. Back in March 2020, all I thought I'd have to do was, chill out on the couch and watch movies for a few weeks, or maybe a few months, right? I mean, how hard could it be? Oh my God, people. After a year of staring at pixels, my eyes are like pinwheels. And when you add these frown lines, it's not a good look in a mask. I've seen bitch face meets Hannibal Lecter. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna have a little sip of Chianti.
I'll drink to that.
Masks, they don't just mess with our faces, though, they mess with our voices. Everyone is unintelligible. The other day, I answered my phone and I hear, hello. I'm thinking, can I talk to you? So I say yes. Again, I hear,
Can I love you?
Yeah, and I'm like, yes, when? Now? Well, the mask must have come off at that point, among other things, possibly, because I hear very, very clearly, can I fuck you? Could have saved us both a lot of time if you took the mask off from the get-go, Pat. You know, masks, quarantining, social distancing, sanitizing your hands 1,000 times a day. COVID has really demanded a lot of us. And now vaccinations. I got my shots. Well, I just turned 65.
Yeah.
Was that a gas? I thought I heard a gas. I know.
knew? Disbelief.
I too find it inconceivable that I am a senior, especially since I've never felt so desirable. I am actually being wooed by Aetna, Cigna, Anna. I thought I was aging really well, but COVID has taken a real toll. It really has. The other day, when I caught my reflection in the mirror, I threw it back. Seriously. I looked at myself and thought, what the fuck? When did that happen? The aging process, it creeps up on you. It's slow and insidious. I was at a stoplight, and the millisecond it turns green, the person behind me honks and yells, "Move it, Grandma!" I was in my 40s at the time. Am I the only one that thought I could escape the ravages of the aging process? The bags and the sags and the jowls and the chicken neck and the frizzy gray hair. Oh, don't worry, I'm not going to point any of you out.
Hey, wait a minute.
Now that I'm officially old, I've decided to be really good to myself. So from now on, no more Rice Krispies. That's what I call my exercise routine. Because every move I make, all I do is snap, crackle, and you know what? I'm also going to eat whatever I want, because I'm pretty damn sure that when I'm on my deathbed, one of my regrets isn't going to be, oh, I'm so sorry I ate so many chocolate chip cookies. And you know what? I'm not going to care what anybody thinks about me anymore. Like all of you, for example. Don't get me wrong. I would like you to like me, just not enough to be in a relationship. Although I admit a sugar daddy would be nice in my retirement years, but considering my age, he'd have to be 112. And a friend with benefits could be really sweet, but if she was under 50, I'd feel like I was robbing the cradle. We have to be so careful about what we do and say these days of cancel culture. The mainstream media incites fear, which I find really scary. Social media is full of haters. I hate them. And I'm so angry. Angry really pisses me off.
Yes.
But that's why we need more laughter, right, you guys?
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. And thanks to our marINSANITY team, Omid Shamsapur, our director, producer, and Scott Ward, our editor, production supervisor, and our talent worker and host of this very special episode. Please give a nice, warm marINSANITY welcome to the one, the only, Griffin Daly.
No. I want you to give it up for Jill again. That was very
Yeah.
brave, wonderful, very funny.
Go Jill! Go Jill!
Way to go, Jilly.
Jill Sanity!
We love you whether you like it or not, okay? Yeah, Jill. Funny stuff. I love it. And happy 62nd. Keep them coming, darling. Keep them coming. Yes. I'm 72. I'm 72 in a few days, so yeah. You'll never catch me up, you know. Not till I die anyway. And it's really good to see you in the middle of your set picking up that glass of wine. Like a real professional comic.
Yeah.
Half of them can't get through it without being drunk, but that's another story. We're going to get on with the show now. All these comics that are on the show, they're all working for free and they're all over the world. Jackie Pearl is tuning in from Florida. We call her the flamingo because she looks like a flamingo. She dances like a flamingo. She's beautiful, beautiful. Give it up for the very funny Jackie Pearl.
All right.
This is awesome. Thank you, Marin County. This is wonderful. I love it. There's so many ladies in this room. Lady run producer, there's ladies in the audience, there's ladies on the show. I'm digging it. I don't know how many comedy shows you've been to, but it's definitely still a sausage fest, you guys. Speaking of sausage fest, I love Muir Woods, and during the COVID lockdown, I did a lot of hiking there by myself, socially distanced. In fact, I think it was the only hardwood I saw through all of COVID. Hey, I had to find it somewhere. My name is Jackie Pearl. I've been through a lot of changes recently. I had my second COVID lockdown birthday, as most of us will have. The first one last year, I turned 55 years old. And I was quite upset because my favorite Tinder dude before the lockdown, he didn't call me, he didn't text me, he didn't write happy birthday on my timeline. I was so upset. The dude is 30 years old. I turned 55. I thought it was a big deal. So I just looked at it and I'm learning a lot about the internet. And I just blocked him on all social media. Just block. And then he found me like 4 days later, because they can find you on other social media. They don't need your email. They don't need your phone number. He found me on Twitter, of all places. And he said, oh my God, baby, I'm so sorry when this is done. Because remember when we thought it was going to be 3 weeks? Not 3 weeks worth of COVID. He said, well, I'll make it up to you. I'll make it up to you. And I just threw a full-blown temper tantrum. And I blocked him on Twitter too. But before I did, I texted him and I said, look who's crying over spoiled MILF now. So yeah, I had another COVID birthday. I divorced my cheating husband. We were married for 25 years. I found out at year 23, he is a pharmacist. I found out at year 23 that he's prescribing himself an awful lot more Xanax, Oxycontin, and strippers than I was comfortable with. And he didn't even invite me to that party. Like, we could have had a good time. And then after living in Honolulu for 33 years, I decided to move to Sacramento because that's a really sound financial choice for those of you who don't know. Yeah. And my life did not suck enough at that point. One of the first things I did, I don't know if you know anything about Hawaii, but we don't have any professional sports. And so one of the first things I did was I found my favorite football team, the Minnesota Vikings, and I found out they were playing in a small town I'd never heard of near me. So I bought tickets for me, my daughter, and a bunch of her friends. We dressed head and toe in purple, and we went to this town I'd never heard of called Oakland. Oh, the black hole is real, you guys. The black hole is real. Oh my God, we were the only people in purple there, and we won. We won. I was so scared. But I think the only reason I got out of there alive was that I had a Minnesota Vikings shirt made specially. And it said, the nice thing about dating a Minnesota Vikings fangirl is you know she's never going to expect a ring. Took a minute there, but I do have some football fans in here. Yeah, never won a ring. I'm dating for the first time since 1989. Which is really weird. That's how old I am. That's when I met my husband. Yeah. I was born in 1965. Okay. So my mother woke me up for the actual moon landing, you know? Back in my day, consent was literally that fifth beer. A lot of things have changed in the world since then. On one hand, I have my adult kids trying to set up my dating profile. On the other hand, I have my 75-year-old mother trying to set me up her widow friends. So I'll move back to Minnesota, don't you know? Oh yeah, sure, you betcha. And take care of her in her old age. This is my mother. Oh, Jackie, don't you know? I saw Norm the other day. His wife died. You should call him. Mom, I'm 56 years old. Stop trying to pimp me out. The funny thing is, if I went out with all the old men my mother thinks I should go out with, I would actually be the slut she thinks I am. I can't win. I'm learning a whole new set of vocabulary. I was on the phone with a comic the other day, and I said, we'll hook up after the show. And my adult daughter was home, and she goes, Mom, do you know what hookup means? And I said, yeah, it means we're going to stand around and talk about comedy after the show. She said, no, Mom, hookup means fuck. So Griffin, I am so sorry. We are not hooking up after the show tonight. I have had to apologize to so many people. Another thing we don't have in Hawaii, we don't have legalized weed. The week I moved to California, you guys legalized weed. It was crazy. Yeah, it was insane. And I raised 3 kids. I raised them for export. You ought to try it. They pay their own cell phone bills. They pay their own rent. But back when I was raising these wonderful kids, I used to tell them, kids, please don't ever talk to a stranger online. Kids, please don't ever get in a stranger's car. And kids, don't do drugs. Nowadays in California, I come home, I kick off my boots. I tell my adult daughter, Mommy went online. She called you an Uber. Please get in that stranger's car. Go down to the dispensary and bring Mommy some blueberry yum yum. She's had a tough day. Yeah, the whole world has changed. I'm telling you, the whole world has changed. I will tell you, I have figured out at the age of 56 how to get a millennial. No, wait, let's try this again. How to keep a millennial in my bed. I have no idea how to get one there yet, but I do know how to keep one in there if I ever do. It's really 3 easy steps, you guys. Number 1, install a PS5 in the bedroom. Brilliant. My son told me that if a dude gives you your own game controller, you're basically new age engaged. It's like, not gonna play with anybody else, baby, just you. Number 2, I'd offer to cook for them. Millennials don't know how to cook. They think a microwave pizza is a made meal. And number 3, I would offer to do their laundry. I'm not stupid. I wouldn't actually do their laundry. It's that 1960s swimming hole trick where you just take their clothes, hide it till you want them to leave, Febreze it and throw it back at them. But right before lockdown, I managed to get one of these. Got it. I managed to get one of these lovely creatures in my bed, in my house. And because I'm old, I went out to do a mic and forgot about him. I came back 5 hours later, you guys. He was still naked in my bed, eating a Hot Pocket, playing Red Dead Redemption 2. And I was mommy mode kicked in. I said, that's it. You've had enough screen time. Game over, player one. Go home. All right. That has been my time. Thank you, Griffin, very much.
Thanks, Jackie. Jackie Pearl, wonderful stuff. Yeah. And then all the way from San Jose or somewhere is the lovely, wonderful, funny, you've seen her before. Here she is again, Pat Griffin.
Yay!
Yeah, Pat.
Oh, actually, I was thinking Jill had the idea about this COVID situation. And before COVID, I used to hang out at the senior center in the daytime. And I'd go to the comedy clubs at night. And the seniors and the comics all walk around asking the same question. How much time do I have? And when they give me the light, I hope it's not at the end of the tunnel.
Good.
Now, today was Tai Chi class. Well, it wasn't today, it was before COVID, but when I had it, it was Tai Chi class. And yes, it is a martial art. Don't hesitate to ask. I'd be happy to walk you home after the show. It's if the assailant assails in slow motion, we've got this. Actually, I don't really know very much about Tai Chi because honorable instructor speaks only Chinese. It's vowels. And if you grunt, you've said something. So, and there are positions in Tai Chi. There's Mabu, there's Kung Bu, and there's Shibu. And if you fall down, it's a boo-boo. So, Mabu is the one that concerns me because you spread your legs and you squat. And I worry. There's a lady in front of me doing exactly the same thing. What if she farts? I'd say she just fought a vowel. Languages have always been difficult for me. I was at 17, I was plucked from Berkeley High and placed in a French school near Paris. I didn't speak a word of French. You know what that was like? It was failure. I failed English as a second language. They wanted me to translate Shakespeare into French. I couldn't translate it into English. Now, my French friends, my sweet French, my family, they named their dog Patsy after me. Oh, that's sweet. Well, I'd hear things like, tais-toi, Patsy, which means shut up, Patsy. And then dehors, Patsy, which means outside, Patsy. So Patsy and I shut up and went outside. I followed her because she understood French. Now there was this school that I went to was experimental. For the first time, they had boys and girls together. So head of security was Madame Lafarge. I can picture her now, perched on her bicycle behind a bush, like a cop behind a billboard, watching for lovers. Well, I was late for school one day, so I took a shortcut through the forest And I tripped over this couple on the ground just as Madame is blowing her whistle. And she screams, "Ménage à trois." Is that on my schedule? Well, I'm here to learn. Yeah, I learned French the hard way, and tonight so will you. It's all in the mouth. You want your mouth open. You want your lips forward and wet. You know this position. Now, don't worry about spitting on people. It's part of the language. Now, I want you to repeat after me with your mouth open, your lips forward and wet. Repeat. Beautiful. You have just mastered 10% of the language. Now go out and find a Frenchman, tap him on the shoulder and say, "Ooh." He'll probably ask if you're taking Tai Chi.
Nice.
What word are we talking about? Well, I know we've been talking about age here. Well, I'm 79, and the way things are going, I'll be 85 by Christmas. My kids insist upon driving. They strap me in the back seat, facing backwards. It's called reverse parenting. Later, my son will call me. Well, he texts me, actually. He'll text me and he'll say, "Mom, it's after midnight. Where are you?" Should I tell him I'm in the Tenderloin doing comedy? No. Check with your sister. She's got me on GPS. Something like that. I don't know. I forget things. Well, I did. Okay, they don't want me to drive. I had an accident. Bambi killed my Volvo. That's what really happened. In the dark of night to the left of Livermore, this deer flew out of the bushes into my headlights, bam, onto my car. Why? I can only imagine she missed the safety committee meeting. Instead, she went to the stag party. And that's where she met Buck. Buck and Bambi decided to play chicken. Now, you know what chickens do? They cross the road. So Buck and Bambi are racing to the horse, and they're running. I believe it was consensual. They're racing to the horse, and they're running and running and running, and they get to the road, and the Buck stops here. Bambi passes the Buck. Here comes my car. Bambi. And now my Volvo's in hospice.
Oh.
And Allstate wants to pull the plug. For those of you who don't know Swedish, Volvo is a Swedish word for expensive repairs. And the Blue Book value of this car is worth less than the value of the Blue Book. I love that car. I took care of it. Well, there was the time that I broke the dipstick. A dipstick is what you use to measure the oil in the car. They don't have them in bicycles. But we're out in the middle of Nevada. Nevada is this vast expanse that you have to cross to get to the world. So I'm standing in the sagebrush holding the handle of this dipstick, and the business end of it is still down in the hole. What to do? So I called the Volvo dealer, and this is what he said. Send me a dipstick pic. I liked it. And then there was a time I was rear-ended by the eastern edge of a bed and breakfast sign in Durango. Ouch. Ouch. But now what were we talking? I forget things. I forget things like, oh, I forgot to turn the numbers on for the minutes. I forget, yeah, too bad about that. I forget things like, names. Do you forget names? There's this woman walking toward me. Why can't I know her dog's name. I know where she lives. She's my sister. And I lose things. I lose my keys, my phone, grandchildren.
Oh.
Thank God I found my phone. I lost it in the sheets, but I found it in the washing machine. Do you ever phone your phone to find it? And here it's ringing, it's in there. And oh, don't worry, we found, what's his name, my grandson. He was in the dryer. But poor thing, you see, I'm known as the cheap grandma. His other grandma gave him tickets to a UCLA basketball game in Maui. I bought the kid a shirt. It was on sale for $14.99. So I took it over to the register and the young man said, lady, if you open a charge account today, the store will give you $15. It's $14.99 and they're going to give me $15. Is there a mathematician in the room? It's a profit. But what if my grandson returns the shirt? He'll know. I want the penny. And it's well, now we're in the time of COVID, and Jill, I certainly understand how you feel about that, because well, actually, what's your name moved in with me. My sister moved in for the duration, and my son has come to babysit for us, take care of us. And fortunately, he sleeps late. So we decided to sneak out and go to Costco Senior Hour.
1 minute.
Oh, thank you. Okay, we went to Costco Senior Hour, and we did everything right. We wore our gloves. We had homemade masks. My sister cut hers out of a pillowcase. And I was cleaning out a drawer and I found my husband's old Speedo. And it works. So we parked in the disabled parking. We walked 2.5 miles around the building. And we got there, and then there's this man at the end of the line with a bullhorn who yells, "Spread them, seniors." And fortunately, the carts double as a walker. So when we get inside, we make a beeline for in the back of the store where 3 armed guards are handing out the toilet paper. And I yelled at my sister, "We got to get out of here. The under 60 hordes are arriving." Thank you. My name is Pat Griffin. Bye.
See you, Pat. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Well, now we turn to somebody. Is another part of the country. I think he's up in Oklahoma or somewhere, picking corn or something. His name is actually Johnny Corn. Come on, Johnny Corn.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Thank you for supporting live comedy. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Griff. Now, Before I get started, who here has been is in a long-term relationship? Just me. Okay, got it. Look, I've been married to my wife for 27 years, and we do some. Well, thank you, thank you. We celebrate 2 anniversaries: the anniversary of our first date, and the anniversary of the day that we got married. Romantic, right? See, that way I'm guaranteed to get laid at least twice.
I see, yeah.
Now, but does anybody lie about that? I do. I tell people that I'm 10 years older than I actually am, so I can get a compliment. I'll take the compliment because I'm shallow. No, but the truth is, I just turned 52 a couple months ago. And you know what? When you do this, you get your AARP card. That is my license to do whatever I want. I'll be driving down Highway 101 with my left turn signal on, lane splitting in my Audi, and when I get pulled over, I'll whip out my AARP card. The cop's gonna look at it, look at me, look at it, look at me, look at it, look at me, go, driving while old, that's funny. You know, you would have gotten away with this anyway because you're white, and hand the card back to me. Okay. Oh, I see that. But you know, my wife tells me that well, she tells people, because she's very proud of this. She tells people that she has been married to me for 27 years. She's very proud of that. But she also tells people that she's 39. Made me too pervert is what I'm saying. You know, during lockdown, it got interesting because when we started lockdown, we were binge watching a bunch of stuff. It was fantastic. And then things started to turn after a couple of months to watching shows like Snap, with Wives with Knives. Should I just turn it out there? But yeah, a little more about it. I was born Irish Catholic, and as a good Catholic, you have to give up something for Lent. So, so last year, I gave up going outside.
Yeah, me too.
True. Yeah, I'm a true Catholic. In normal times, I'll go to church twice a year. For Christmas and Easter, for those. Now, I have an overactive imagination. In normal times, when I'm sitting there and listening to the gospel, today, for example, there's a story about Barabbas and Jesus, and he set free by Pontius Pilate. He's told the crowd to decide. Well, this was 2,000 years ago. If it took place today, I think it'd be in the form of a reality show. I'm Pontius Pilate, your host, and welcome to Crucifixion, the show where you, the people, get to decide who gets to live and who gets to die. So let's meet our contestants, shall we? First, we have Barabbas Nefarious up against Jesus H. Christ. And the H stands for Hubert, a little trivia there. Now, if you want Barabbas to live, then text to 666. In German, and then it's 999, but if you're German, hold your phone upside down. We'll have the phone lines open for another 3 hours. Oh, what's that? We'll get the results. West Coast, okay, well, the West Coast doesn't matter anyway. Okay, so the person that gets set free is Barabbas, but Jesus, you get a consolation prize, and that's death. Before we nail you, let's bring in the apostles. They'll be your background singers. Now, come on in, apostles. They'll be background singers. And but I doubt Thomas will be here, and Judas was hanging outside. But we'll bring in the rest of the apostles. I'm Pontius Pilate, reminding you, I'm washing my hands of this whole show. So filling in for me next week will be Ryan Seacrest. Until then, peace out. And then Jesus is going, okay, I don't like reality shows. Am I alone in this? It's interesting. You get holidays. Holidays when you go to Catholic school. And it doesn't matter how stupid the holiday is. You get it off. For example, Columbus Day. Why do we get why is Columbus get a holiday? He gets a holiday for getting lost. Right? He's trying to find his way around to India, ends up in the Caribbean, slightly off course. Typical man, didn't ask directions. all you have to do is go into any of the high tech where was it? Columbus Day holiday, right? Well, that's not the only holiday that is a little bit weird. For example, Thanksgiving. Don't get me wrong, Thanksgiving, I think you should be thankful for what you have, but the story makes no sense. It's about these white people. It's always about white people, right? So it's about the white people moving to the neighborhood, changing it forever, but they're all Whole Foods or Sprouts. So the Indian people, so white people, they're starving, and the Indian people feel sorry for them. So they broke bread at the very same table, and that's why. And you know what they say? Once you feed them, never away, and that's why.
Bad.
Yeah. Chris, send me Santa just a little bit creepy. I mean, who else can get away with saying stuff like, "Instead of my life, little girl, and tell Santa what you really want. Have you been naughty? Do you want to be on my nice list? Are you? Do you want me to? Fill your stockings up and hand me? Yeah, I've been watching you. I know when you sleep. I know when you're awake." It's just creepy. It's almost as creepy as Trump. Now, the interesting thing is here in California, we legalized pot the same day that we elected Donald Trump, which means that we knew how we were going to get through the next 4 years. Now, in celebration of some stoner moments in history. Stoner moments in history, Abraham Lincoln. Dude, you know, it'd be a good idea for me to go to the theater tonight. Stoner moments in history, Benjamin Franklin. Dude, you know, it'd be a good idea for me to buy a kite in this lightning storm. Stoner moments in history, Jesus Christ. Dude, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna tell people I was born the same day every year, and I died on a different day every year. Okay. I thank you guys very much for supporting live comedy. I am tomorrow going to get my first dose of the COVID vaccine. I really hope that people do that. Let's get to immunity. And I'll leave you with this thought for the day. The best protection against identity theft is bad credit. I'm Johnny Corn. Have a great tomorrow.
Thank you.
For Johnny. Yeah, that was funny. And you've got right now a fantastic lady all the way live via Zoom from Vietnam, Nicole Tran. Nicole.
Chăm lại đường đứng cho con được nhìn mặt cha lần sau cuối rồi lát nữa đây con sẽ. Please feel free to sing along if you know the words. I'm from Vietnam. Please excuse me the way I speak. There's some letters in the English language I cannot pronounce. I could tell you which one they are, but I cannot pronounce them. Sometimes language barrier can be to my advantage. One time my boss said she likes hair that's curly. I thought she said I could go home early. Told me, you need to pay attention. I thought she said take a paid vacation. My car is a Hyundai accent. When people hear me speak, they ask me, hey, where's your accent from? I say, a used car lot in Fremont. Many intersections in Fremont have camera. That's why I drive slow and smile. I don't care who hung. Go ahead and hung. I smile for the camera. Last week, an American guy asked me, are you nuts? I said, why? Are you allergic? Another guy told me he was a vegan. I say, vegan? Where's your pointy ears, man? When I first learned English, start with simple phrases like, how do you do? Or, I'm happy to meet you. Or, Not tonight. I have a headache. To help me with my English, I joined Toastmaster. Why not? That's my favorite appliance. I use it every day. I'm a master of toast. Sometimes I master English muffin. My first day at school in America, the professor asked me, "Are you chewing gum?" I say, "No, I'm the contrarian." At college, they told me I need student loan. I thought they could loan me a student to help me with my homework. They asked me, "I have loaned you one." I say, "Give me a blue-eyed white guy." I think they have a dating website for Asian women, blueeyes.com. I grew up in a town called Bà Chiếu. I understand now in my hometown, they have a big Apple store. They also sell bananas and kumquat. They don't sell iPhone 10. They sell big fat hen. Man. I remember my first swimming lesson. My father threw me into the Mekong River. I ended up in the Philippines. When I was a kid, we played ding dong ditch. We did not have doorbell, so we just ditched our friend ding dong. That's a pretty good joke. She called me a nickname. She called me Kitten. Every weekend, she would leave me in a box in front of the grocery store. Everybody passed by and said, "Have you had your shot yet?" We had a parrot. He always talked. That means Polly wants a rice cracker. Now I live in Little Saigon in San Jose. That's the only neighborhood where you see an Uber driver on a scooter. My cousin Bing Bing. My cousin Bing Bing snores. She snores like this. Bing, 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 bing. It can be annoying and scary, especially when she's driving. Bing, wake up, turn up your blinker, man. Back in my country, Bing Bing was the life of the party, the Communist Party. Bing Bing always dream of winning a lottery so she can go back to Vietnam, buy our entire village, and raise the rent. Bing Bing has big butt, man. Big butt runs in the family. When Bing Bing butts dial me, my phone just jump right off the table. Everybody wants to know about my cousin Bing Bing last name. My cousin Bing Bing last name is Bing, but she never use it because Bing 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 is too much. Bing 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 sounds like a slot machine. When I first start driving, you guys, I got a ticket for driving 100 miles an hour. I say to the cop, "Hey man, the sign says 101. One time my mother took us to Disneyland on Highway 5. It took 4 days to get there. We smelled the Harris range for 6 hours. That's okay. To make up for lost time, we took 101 on the way home. You got that? I love to watch basketball. I like Stephen Curry, but I love chicken curry even more. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. Last year I dressed like Kim Kardashian. I crammed 2 watermelons down the back of my pants. Then I put 2 cantaloupes in the front. Then I got arrested for shoplifting. I went to a pumpkin festival. I saw a 2,000-pound pumpkin. In Vietnam, we would carve that pumpkin, then move in. Hey, where's your house? It's the Fort Jack-o'-lantern on the left, man. Asians are scared of ghosts. When we buy a house, we ask, did anybody die in here? If that house had ghosts, we want to know, does that ghost have rent control? Always cute in Auckland. I could not get along with my therapist. I had to go see my second therapist just to talk about the first therapist. My therapist told me sometimes change is good. I said, I don't like change. I only accept 50s and 100s. Indian doctors, long names, man. Thank God they don't charge by the letter. The longer the names, the higher the bill. I had an ingrown toenail, so I went to Stanford Hospital because I heard they treat you like a family. I got a bill for $2,000. Man, this is a very dysfunctional family. My doctor told me that I did not have diabetes. I say, sweet. And he told me, you need to exercise. I say, sweat.
Sweat.
Some woman I know shop at Forever 21. I cannot fit into anything of that store. I'm waiting for them to come out with almost 42. I wear loose blouse to cover my muffin top, but nothing I can do to cover my muffin bottom. I like to wear floppy hats because they match the rest of me. Polyester make me not only curvy, but flammable. My cousin loves to wear long black boots, but she's short, so she look like Asian pirate. She very color coordinated. Her purse always match an eye patch. When I go to hairdresser, I say, make me look like famous pop star, like Katy Perry, Taylor Swift, and this haircut is Paul McCartney. She got that. 4 women live in my house. 1 mother, 3 sisters. Sounds like the fairy tale Cinderella. Except Prince Charming, way outside, 6 feet apart. If my mother hear me sing, someday my prince will come, she thinking I'm talking about Prince, the Chihuahua who live across the street. My sister is my bookkeeper, man. With all the money I make in stand-up, she not very busy. 3-hour lunch, no problem. She's planning to take me to Santa Cruz to get a roller coaster. I say, forget, man, save your money. I already got car sick 3 times on Highway 17. My mother is crazy, man. She prayed to the Buddha very early in the morning. At 4 o'clock, she bangs the gong. And I'm sure the Buddha up there going, I don't get up until 7. I have an announcement to make, you guys. I'm getting married on June. But I'm not sure what year and to who.
That's
I thought.
15 years ago, I went to a fortune teller. She told me by 2023, I would have a handsome husband and 2 beautiful children. So I tell all the men in the audience, hurry up, time is running out. To make that quota, we have to make it tonight. I went out with a garbage man. Boy, he was always talking trash. The last guy I dated worked at a racetrack cleaning up after horses. I always look for a man with a stable job. I'm a stylish man. I wear Easter hat in the spring, sundress in the summer, and I never dated a white guy after Labor Day. A guy asked me to go skydiving. I said, forget, man, I like dumpster diving better. So we go skydiving. I got lucky. I landed a dumpster. The good news is I found a brand new floppy hat. Another guy asked me to meet him at the Four Seasons Hotel. I said, that's okay, as long as they have cumin, paprika, cinnamon, and curry. Those are the 4 seasons I like the most.
Oh.
I hear you.
I want to meet a man with a Tesla car. So every Friday night, I put on tight dress and hang out at the electric charging station. I like white guys with blue eyes, but he must have 2 of them. I don't date Australian Shepherd. I dated one Asian guy. He has a body like God, Buddha. It's fun to date guys with sport car, you guys, with only 2 seats, and that way I don't have to bring my mother. If you try a miñata, I don't bring my mother. My favorite dog is the golden retriever. I throw a ball, he brings it back. I throw a stick, he brings it back. I throw out my boyfriend, he bury him in the yard. I love music. From the 1980s, even to this day, I still answer the phone like this. Hello, is it me you're looking for? He says, no. Where's your cousin Bing Bing? And by the way, I don't have a green car, so please do not tell anybody that you saw me here tonight. Thank you. Thank you for coming to the show.
There we go.
Very good.
That was fantastic. Thanks, Nicole. All right, folks, well, it's time to wrap up another one. Yes, if you CMCM TV, just watch. You most of you get it on channel 26, so keep watching channel 26. There's some good stuff on there, really good eye openers on there. All that political stuff is good fun too. You get points of view you never see anywhere else, right? That's lovely. And give it up for Jill.
Yay!
Thank you.
I want to just say, we're looking forward to June, aren't we? Are we going to open up in June where we can all go back to normal? Yes, anyway, good night, darling. Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you.
Sanity.